What's up, party people? Jude Snowboarder here from Facebook, Jude's Junk, Facebook page, shop, YouTube channel. I get questions a lot about pricing, and there's a major difference between cost and value. And this is a concept that you'll learn in B school, which is MBA school. You'll learn in marketing classes. There's a difference between cost and value. Oh, what's a good example? Okay, a mechanic fixing your car maybe makes $100 an hour. It takes them a half an hour. So you think the cost is $30. Well, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and that same guy comes along and you can't have cell reception and you can't get a tow truck and he says, I'll do it for $400 an hour, you could say, well, it only costs a half hour of your time and you get paid $100 an hour back at your shop. We should only pay you $50. And he's like, well, no, you're taking away from my vacation. I'm stopping out here in the middle of nowhere. It's going to be $200. So there's a difference between cost and value. And then that gets into the concept of what is the value of one person's time worth. I made the decision a long time ago that the value of my time is $400 an hour. I kind of make that. That's not very difficult to make. That's what a lawyer makes. That's what a doctor makes. That's what an attorney makes. Well, I guess lawyer, attorney, financial advisors. So people might say that's crazy, but they're thinking in the mindset of an hourly wage. That's a mindset of a W-2 employee, not of an entrepreneur. Everybody in the comic book world selling and buying comic books, you're an entrepreneur, and the value of your time means something. If you're going to spend the time focused on selling $4 books with $3 shipping, and you do that all day long and have all the business in the world, your time's not very valuable, and you're going to get paid accordingly, and you're going to attract more of those kind of clients. So that cost and value are a huge, big difference, and we could spend a lot of time talking about that, but you could YouTube channels. So I bring that up because I want to talk about signature books. It's my new thing. I get every signature that comes across. I look through all my books to see what I can send. That's a 9.6 or a 9.8. I just got Campbell's book in, number 30, and 9.6. And I also got the coveted 601. This isn't rocket science. I got it off of eBay for $110. Looked in great condition with some other books that were $1 or $2 books. So those auctions where there are multiple books sometimes get lost in the shuffle. But anyways, there was a $100 book. Went and sent it off to be shipped. Came back in 9.6. So when I post the grades for these, oh man, I'm just getting tired. So when I post the prices for these signed books, someone might say, well, it only costs, let's say, $100 to get J. Campbell's signature. Okay, that might be true. So then go get a 9.6 book, send it in, spend the shipping, take the chances with something getting lost in shipping. Can't do insurance because there's no invoice involved. So there's a lot of unexpected things that can go wrong with it. But yeah, go do that if that's all that costs. Problem is, there's a difference between cost and value. Does someone want to go through all that hassle, sending it off, waiting? It's not that long, 2 or 3 months for the book to come back. Maybe it comes back a 9.4. Now they've actually lost money. They want to take that risk. So the cost might be $100 to get it graded and slabbed, but the value might be $300. And I'm not just making things up. Oh, my arm is getting tired. I must be getting old. I'm not just making things up. You can look on GPA to see what the value of yellow labels are. They classify them just like the blue labels, completely separate line item. Both of these books, hardly any 9.6s of either of these books have sold in a yellow label in the last year. I think both of them have one sale. What that means is there's also none available on eBay. I checked eBay. I checked the eBay sales section, which is open sales. Neither one, there's no 9.6s available. So what I always say is, if you can find this book cheaper, I'll probably be able to match it. Well, you can't find it cheaper because there's none out there. So supply and demand has an impact on value, not just as much as the value of the person, not just cost. And then you get into, I got an ASM signed by Conway. Sent me $120 to get it, graded and slabbed. And it increased the value of the book by over 1,000. And I have friends in the industry that are strong collectors that can't comprehend that. They're like, that's a $120 signature. I get it. That's the cost. That's not the value. And so when I explain this to people online, there's a difference between cost and value. Many of them don't know what I'm talking about if they've never taken the classes on cost and value. So I'm trying to show this. Now, what happens if you look at GPA and there is no real good past sales data, even for yellow? Well, you could look at the difference between a 9, these are 9.6s, you could look at the difference between a 9.4, blue and yellow, and that might be a $120 difference, might be a $100 difference, $150 difference. You might look at the difference between a 9.8 blue and yellow. You might get a better idea. Or you might look at the difference of a 9.6 a couple of years ago. What was the difference between a 9.6 blue and a 9.6 yellow? And if it was, let's say, $250, any grade, in 2021 and $250 in 2022, then it's safe to assume it's about $250 in 2023. Now again, supply and demand, things can change in 3 years. So did the demand for Scott Campbell's 601 go up? It has. That's why there's none signed available that are out there. You might be seeing more soon because he just had a signing and people are getting their books back. But anyway, it's a little introduction between the cost and value. And this is something every entrepreneur, comic book collector who's trying to buy and sell should understand. Your time is valuable. So the cost of your time, do you have an hourly wage? And if so, what is that hourly wage? And is it sustainable? I just do it for fun. That's cool. Then your time's not that valuable, and you'll find a lot of people that want what you have probably. Anyways, hopefully this can help some buyers and sellers out there learn how to price accurately, not focused on cost, but the value to people. If there was a bunch of these books out there and they were a commodity, which is another term, then the value of them would be different because you just go on eBay and you get the cheapest one. But when there's books where there's nothing else available, then the value goes up. It doesn't matter what past sales have been. It matters supply and demand today. Anyways, hope that's helpful, guys. Happy hunting. Take care.